Welcome to another video from SASSA. If you or a loved one is approaching 60 years of age in South Africa, this video is for you. Navigating government processes can be confusing, but understanding your rights and benefits is crucial for a secure and dignified life. Today, we are doing a complete, deep dive into the SASSA Older Persons Grant, often called the Old Age Pension. We're going to break down the entire process, from do I qualify to how do I get paid, and everything in between. We've meticulously gone through the official SASSA documentation to bring you this clear, step-by-step guide. Getting the right information at the right time is crucial to ensure you receive your grant on the payday. We recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified of important information and updates from SASSA. So, whether you're applying for yourself or helping a parent or grandparent, stick with us. By the end of this video, you'll be an expert on the subject. Let's get started. First things first, what is this grant? The SASSA Older Persons Grant is a monthly payment from the South African government to provide financial support to elderly citizens who meet certain criteria. It's not a handout. It's a right designed to ensure a basic standard of living. Now, let's get into the absolute must-have qualification requirements. There are 6 key points you must meet: citizenship and AMP, residency, you must be a South African citizen, a permanent resident, or a refugee. And you must be living in South Africa. Age, this one is straightforward. You must be 60 years of age or older. The means test, this is a critical one. You and your spouse must meet the requirements of the means test. We'll explain the means test in much more detail later, but in simple terms, it's an assessment of your income and assets to see if they fall below a specific government threshold. Social grants are intended for those who do not have sufficient means to support themselves. Not in a state institution, you must not be maintained or cared for in a state-funded institution. The document specifically mentions prisons, rehabilitation centers, or state old age homes. If you are in a private facility, this does not apply. No other grant for yourself. You cannot receive another social grant for yourself. You can only get one primary grant from SASSA. Application and AMP, documentation, you must be able to apply and provide the necessary documents, which we'll cover next. If you meet all these criteria, you are likely eligible. Now, let's talk about the paperwork you need to gather. Applying without the right documents is the most common reason for delays. So, pay close attention. You will need original documents or certified copies. Let's go through the list from the SASSA document. Your green barcoded ID book or smart ID card, this is non-negotiable. Your spouse's ID, even if you are separated, you must provide your spouse's ID and details for the means test. Proof of marital status, this depends on your situation. If you are married, you need your marriage certificate. If you are divorced, you need the divorce order. If you are widowed, you need your spouse's death certificate. If you don't have these, a sworn statement or affidavit will be accepted. Importantly, the document states that SASSA will provide the affidavits for you to complete, if you don't have the standard documents. Sworn statement of income and assets, you and your spouse must complete a sworn statement, or affidavit that details all your income and assets. This is the core of the means test. Proof of income and assets, you need supporting documents for that sworn statement. This includes things like pay slips, bank statements, proof of rental income, or proof of any other assets you own. Proof of dependent children's income, if you have dependent children who earn an income, you need to provide documented proof of that as well. A crucial takeaway here, if you are missing official documents like an ID, do not panic. Go to your local SASSA office. They are obliged to provide you with an affidavit to complete, which will serve as a temporary solution for your application. Once you have this dossier of documents ready, it's time to go and apply. So, Where and how do you apply? Where? You must apply at the local SASSA office nearest to where you live. Don't go to a faraway office, go to your local one. We will put the contact details for all provincial offices in the description below. Now, the how is very important, especially if you are frail or ill. If you can go yourself, you simply take your documents to the local office. An officer from SASSA will help you complete the application form right there in their presence. If you are too old or sick to travel, a family member or a friend can apply on your behalf. You do not have to struggle to get to the office yourself. If you need help filling the form, if you are unable to read, write, or understand the form, a SASSA officer must assist you in completing it. This is your right. During the application, remember these golden rules: no payments. You do not have to pay any money to apply for this grant. It is free. If anyone asks for money, it is a scam. Get your receipt. Once your application is completed, you will be given a dated, stamped receipt. This receipt will have the name of the SASSA official who helped you. Keep this receipt safely. It is your only proof that you actually applied. What happens after you apply? You will be notified of the outcome in writing. If your application is approved, congratulations. We'll talk about payment in a moment. If your application is rejected, SASSA must also inform you in writing, and the letter must include the reasons why it was not successful. But your rights don't end there if you are rejected. You have the right to ask SASSA to reconsider its decision. You must do this soon after you get the outcome. If you are still unhappy with the reconsidered decision, you have the further right to appeal to the Minister of Social Development in writing. This appeal process is a vital safety net to ensure fairness. Great news! If your grant is approved, you will be paid from the date on which you applied, not the date it was approved. So, there's no penalty for the processing time. You can choose how you want to receive your money: cash payment at specific designated pay points, directly into your bank account, including the Postbank, through certain institutions. What if you can't collect the money yourself? The document is clear on this. If you are unable to personally collect your grant, you may appoint a person to collect it on your behalf. You will need to follow the official SASSA procedure for this, which likely involves filling out a form to designate a proxy. Do not just send a friend without formalizing it. This is perhaps the most critical section for everyone who already receives the grant. Your grant is not necessarily for life. It is contingent on your circumstances remaining largely the same. This is checked through a process called a grant review. Why do reviews happen? SASSA conducts reviews to verify that you still comply with the conditions for the grant. They are checking that your financial situation hasn't improved beyond the means test threshold, that you are still alive, and that you still live in South Africa. How often? The frequency of your review is based on the income and assets you declared when you applied. SASSA will notify you. How will you know? SASSA must notify you in writing, at least 3 months in advance. The letter will tell you where and when the review will take place and what will happen if you don't comply. What happens during a review? You may be asked to provide updated documents, complete a life certificate to prove you are alive, or even have a home visit if you are bedridden. What if you fail the review or don't cooperate? If you fail to provide the necessary documents or cooperate with the review, your grant will be suspended. When the review process is completed, you must be given a receipt of compliance. Keep this safe, just like your application receipt. It is also your responsibility to inform SASSA of any change in your address, your income, your assets, or your marital status. If they send a review letter to your old address and you don't get it, your grant could still be suspended. Keep them updated. Let's be clear about what can cause your grant to be suspended. a change in your financial circumstances, for example, you inherit money or get a new income. The outcome of a review finds you no longer qualify. You failed to cooperate with a review. You provided false information, this is fraud. If the grant was approved by error. If you do not collect your grant for 3 consecutive months. If you are absent from South Africa for more than 90 days. If your grant is suspended, can you get it back? Yes, in many cases. You must apply for the restoration of the grant within 90 days of the suspension. Don't delay. Finally, a grant will lapse entirely, meaning it ends permanently, in these serious situations, on the last day of the month in which the beneficiary dies. If you are admitted to a state-funded institution like a prison, state old age home, or rehab center. If you are absent from South Africa for more than 90 days. 6 months after you are admitted to a psychiatric hospital, if you remain there. SASSA has a zero-tolerance policy for fraud. Lying about your income, your assets, or your marital status to get a grant is a criminal offense. It takes resources away from those who truly need it, and can result in you having to pay back all the money, and facing legal consequences. Always be honest. Now, let's quickly demystify the means test. We've mentioned it a few times. It's simply the way SASSA checks if your financial means are low enough to need the grant. They look at your income and your spouse's income. If you are married, half of your joint annual income is considered. They also look at the value of property you own. However, and this is a key exception, if you live in the property you own, the value of that property will not be counted against you in the means test. So, owning the house you live in does not disqualify you. They need the information for record keeping, but it won't affect your eligibility. And there you have it. A complete guide to the SASSA Older Persons Grant. It might seem like a lot, but if you break it down step by step, it's manageable. To recap, check if you qualify, gather your documents, apply at your local office, keep your receipts, cooperate with reviews, and report any changes in your life to SASSA. For more information, the best resource is the official SASSA website, www.sassa.gov.za. Their national toll-free number is 0800 60 10 11. We will put the full contact details for every provincial office, Eastern Cape, Free State, Gauteng, KZN, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Northwest, Northern Cape, and Western Cape, in the video description below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might need this information. It could make a huge difference in someone's life. Subscribe to the channel for more clear guides like this one. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, know your rights. Till next time, bye.